Oof. Okay, I'm coming on camera. Oof, that is very great. Let me just make this a little. I want to do that. I mean, I think this bright looks really nice. I want it a little bit warmer. I stalled. Forgot to. Okay. Be real. Be real wants me to take a be real right now, but I am playing. Okay. Let's see. Come on, where is like my actual... Okay, good. I can see. I just need to make sure. Hello. I just want to... It works. Alrighty. Sorry, I just want to make sure my hair looks good. It is really warm in here. The lights. Why does it keep doing that? The lights. Yeah. Let me get my headphones on. I really hope I don't mess anything up. These are a little bit, and I have to wear them like this so I can hear myself. So today we are going to be speaking about a few hot topics. I have not been able to stream all summer. I've kind of been between two places due to work, and I just finished my contract. So now I am able to focus basically on streaming. I will have a schedule, but the first topic we're gonna kind of talk about, and also while I'm playing, is this Lizzo lawsuit. So let me know your thoughts about this lawsuit. As somebody, I have to take this off because the Splatoon music is distracting me, but this Lizzo lawsuit was shocking. I literally was like, not that I didn't believe, because I always believe victims, but this was just, what do they say, out of left field. Lizzo is supposed to be very unproblematic, and I was like, oh, I literally like remixed 2 of her songs last year, and now I'm just like, dang, do I have to take them down? I really hope I don't need to. So in case you don't know, a few of Lizzo's dancers are suing for a variety of things. It's really in depth. I'm not really too familiar about content guidelines or whatnot, but basically, like, I almost said slut shaming. I meant body shaming, harassment, and yes, that type of harassment. And I'm trying to let me look it up. Let me look it up real quick, because there's just such a comprehensive, I shouldn't say comprehensive, let me tap into my journalism ethics side. There is more than just one thing when it comes to this lawsuit. So, sorry, I'm checking the chat. I have one viewer. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. You are early. Let's get into it. So, me Googling this lawsuit while having my stream on. So let's talk about why she's being sued. Alleging sexual and harassment and creating a hostile work environment. And the reason why this is so shocking is because of Lizzo's brand being about positivity. Sorry, a video just started playing. Lizzo being known for positivity and just body acceptance. I don't want to say body neutrality because I don't know exactly, but a lot of people have been making just insane jokes, especially like being like, oh, now it's okay to like weight shame Lizzo just because of this lawsuit. So I just want to set that boundary. Like, that is not what I'm trying to do here. We're just trying to like get through to it. So these articles, I really wish there was like a site where they just literally tell you what's going on. I understand explaining context, and there's journalistic best practices, but so much. So let me start a regular battle. Just want to make sure my screen is actually going to change. All right. So, alleged weight shaming. So, I'm reading an article from today.com. Davis alleges that Lizzo and a choreographer raised questions about her commitment to the job on tour that were thinly veiled, quote, concerns about her weight gain, according to the suit. Am I starting? Davis said in an interview, a communication error. Seriously. Okay. While she never experienced, quote, blatant fat phobia, unquote, she believes, I don't know why I'm getting, well, let me join this real quick. She believes she was being called out subtly for her weight. It was very nuanced and very underlying underneath all the other issues that were going on, Davis said. I just had this feeling that they had a problem with the way I was gaining weight and looking different, and that I wasn't the same as when they first cast me. So, okay, maybe it's down further in the article. Let me actually get back, but let's talk about this for a second, about the weight shaming. Oh no, they're gonna think I'm... So Lizzo, as far as I know, so this is very off the cuff, I'm not reading off any article when I say this, so do your own research, correct me. I'm not afraid of being corrected or admitting that I said something wrong. I'm gonna try not to speculate, but I'm also will be just referencing personal perception being a Lizzo fan. If, you know, I don't even know, I don't know where I sit, because it's like, I don't want to say I'm a fan of somebody because knowing what I know about the lawsuit, I don't want to say I'm a fan of somebody who does those types of things, but I also don't want to say, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Why am I not having internet connection when the router's 10 feet away? Like, my switch is in a different position than it normally is, so I don't know if that's what is like causing the issue. Alright, so let's get back to this article. The next section. So I'm gonna skip over the... I'm not gonna skip over, I'm gonna come back to it. The harassment. I'm gonna go into the alleged hostile work environment. The lawsuit alleges on April 20th of this year, 2023, Lizzo falsely accused her dancers of drinking before performances, demanded they re-audition for their spot, and said that if she didn't approve of a dancer's performance, the person would be fired. This results in an excruciating, quote, 12-hour rehearsal, according to the lawsuit. Davis, I'm like, these battles are starting too quick. So, Davis, this is the one where the dancer, Davis, goes to the bathroom on herself because she's so worried, like, the environment. And I totally understand being in a eggshell work environment, and I'm laughing because my friends literally know what I'm talking about. Don't mean to laugh about this, but anyway, so she alleges that she did not feel that her job was secure enough, so she went to the bathroom. And I mean, to not go to the bathroom once in 12 hours, like, I need to drink water doing physical activity. especially dancing. So I don't know if they even had water breaks, and it doesn't really matter. The fact is someone had to go to the bathroom and didn't feel like they could go. So this is something. So let me finish the rest of this battle, and then we're gonna go to the next part of this. But yeah, I'm just curious about whether this is going to be, I mean, I think this is enough. I mean, it's one person, you know, you want to believe people, but some people are like, okay, is this just one person? Again, we know that there's at least 3 dancers in the suit, but if there's such a hostile work environment, would this be the only story? So that's something that people are questioning. I realize I need to have like 15 computers to have all the information, and I need to have maybe 3 heads to talk about stuff, and also, or maybe I just need a co-host while I play games and we talk about it. So, stuff for growth, but literally I have 6 subscribers, like what can I do? Do I have something in the chat? I just saw, oh, I got knocked out. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so I literally was pressing to like ink and it was just standing. So that was kind of scary, but I don't think we won. I don't think we won. I was too busy talking about the Lizzo lawsuit. Oh, we did. We did win. We did win. I was wrong. I was wrong. All right, time for a water break. Oh, I need water. I need water. So, look at this. Anyway, so before I keep going, let's go through the rest of this. Davis said in the lawsuit she was so scared she'd be fired if she left the rehearsal to use the bathroom that she soiled herself. Williams says she confronted Lizzo in a meeting, saying it wasn't true that the dancers were drinking before shows. Quote, well, if you're not, then good for y'all, Lizzo allegedly replied. On April 26, Lizzo's tour manager fired Williams, citing budget cuts, the suit says. The suit also describes an alleged meeting with dancers on April 27 in which Lizzo repeatedly referenced Williams' termination, allegedly telling her team that she has eyes and ears everywhere. Davis recorded this meeting because she suffers from an eye condition that can make her disoriented in stressful situations, according to the suit. Days later, sorry, I'm looking at the chat, don't see anything, but I'm still gonna look. Lizzo allegedly held an emergency meeting when she discovered that the previous April 27 meeting had been recorded. The suit says she quote, became furious, hurling expletives. That's such an easy word. I don't know why I didn't get it. At the group, and stated that she was going to go around the room person by person until someone told Lizzo who made the recording, unquote, according to the lawsuit. The suit said Davis confirmed that she had recorded the meeting, allegedly told Lizzo she hadn't meant any harm and had deleted the video. Lizzo allegedly responded, quote, there's nothing you can say to make me believe you, unquote. Davis was fired that day, and the third dancer involved in the lawsuit, Noel Rodriguez, resigned, according to the lawsuit. Lizzo allegedly responded to Rodriguez's resignation by, quote, cracking her knuckles, balling her fists, unquote, and shouting at the dancer, the suit says. So, I'm going to read the next part. So, the alleged sexual harassment. In the lawsuit, Davis describes an alleged incident with Lizzo early this year at an Amsterdam strip club, Banana Bar. Davis, sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Oh my God, I'm going to get canceled before I'm scheduled or whatever. Sorry, where was I? Davis alleged that Lizzo pressured her to touch the breasts of a nude woman on stage. Davis said no, but she says Lizzo led a group chant to pressure her to do it, quote, demanding a visibly uncomfortable Miss Davis to engage with the performer, unquote, according to the suit. Eventually, after being pressured, Davis, quote, briefly touched, unquote, the performer's breasts, the lawsuit says. Quote, I was very, very mortified. Everyone burst into laughter, unquote, Davis told Today in her August 2nd interview. Davis says after this incident, Lizzo allegedly began pressuring a member of her security staff to get on stage and, quote, take it off, unquote, according to the lawsuit. Plaintiffs were aghast with how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her, especially in the presence of many people whom she employed, quote, the lawsuit says. So let me just scroll through and see. I'm really surprised this doesn't talk about the incident where they go and there's sex toys being pushed from private parts. I live with my parents still, so I can't really say everything out loud that I want to. Subscribe so I can get monetized and get a studio. Sorry, I don't mean to be laughing, but in case you think I'm acting weird or like, why aren't you saying things, like, that's why. So let's start a new battle. What is this? Lobby terminal? Sorry, I'm like really confused what this is for. Get stuff. Okay. Alright, what else do you want me to do? What else do you want me to do? The fresh meter measures your meow when you win the meter. Okay. Me, I don't care. I'm just trying to talk about this Lizzo lawsuit. Not a private. Go down. Okay. So, a lot to unpack with what we just read. There's the recording, there's the harassment, and the sexual part of it at the banana bar really struck me. I was like, ooh. But let's talk. Oh wait, actually I didn't really like, sorry. This is my first, like, not deep dive, but like casual talk. I'm really not trying to be like a news person, but I'm just trying to be casual because I don't really have friends to talk about this with. Well, I do, but like, I'm just so busy. So, the hostile work environment, that is just, am I surprised because it's show business? Like, I hate when people say, oh, it's show business, like, what do you expect, blah, 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 but, like, I don't want to say the reality is, because it shouldn't be that way, like, just because, okay, something's up with my controller, because I'm not squatting. Just because somebody wants to pursue the arts, doesn't mean that they should have to deal with certain things. Like, I always hate that, and I hope someday I get to be the reason why that changes. And I think that there's a lot of people in the music industry currently who are working and really doing the work to change that and to make it better, accessible, inclusive, and just, I don't want to say, ooh, can I multitask? No, I cannot. Anyway, so it seems, you know, seeing Lizzo, and trying to visualize Lizzo balling up her fists is very interesting to me, because she always projects like this happy, and I get it, like, it's not like she's like never allowed to be mad, I'm not saying that, And of course, there's going to be her side. Like, I'm not automatically like, oh, Lizzo's a bad person. But this is really, like, for it to go to a lawsuit, this isn't, I don't want to minimize what happened with Colleen, but this is something that's, you know, they got a lawyer, there's actual evidence being presented in court, and it's not just these dancers just making a video. So clearly, I'm not saying what, just because there's not a lawsuit that Colleen didn't do anything, but I just think there being a lawsuit in general for this Lizzo thing, there is some weight to these claims, at least in my opinion right now. It could be false, but personally, I don't know. I don't think this many media outlets would have picked this up if it just, you know, maybe they would have said, oh, it's false claims, but this seems like there's something there. So, the banana bar, that's, I don't want to go near it. That is, I can't even do anything. Banana bar, that's just, if I went through that, I honestly, like, I have a lot of, like, sympathy and empathy, because I would feel very violated if that happened to me. I honestly don't know what I would do. Like, people are like, oh, you had a choice, but I'm just like, this is your employer. I don't really know how much of a choice you would have had if this was like your source of income. And everyone knows how horrible this economy is. Like, you never know what kind of pressures having this job could be for someone. So the whole, like, touching somebody and this person clearly doesn't want to, and pressuring, and I'm just like, I'm sure there's somebody there who would love to, so I don't know why there was this fixation. Again, I'm curious to know more. I'm curious to hear what Lizzo and her defense will say. But okay, we're getting close to 20 minutes. I do want to wrap up and go to the next topic of Colleen, but let's actually read Lizzo's statement on this. And Lizzo's statement, I gotta say, I am like, girl, you did not do yourself any favors. So let me, oh, it's already waiting. Okay, so while it's matching, let's read this real quick. Oh shoot, it didn't open in the app, so is it gonna make me log in? These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointed. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations. Oof. Immediately, right off the bat. Just false allegations. I think that is a very interesting word choice. And to me, I'm like, okay, no addressing. Well, I don't know if I would want to say or repeat something that I believed was false. Because this isn't just, oh, she's a snake and blah, blah, blah. This is like literal crimes, like illegal stuff. So she seems, in my opinion, it seems like it's a double down kind of situation. Lizzo's not like, I feel like Colleen's like, oh, like, sorry, I don't mean to compare. I feel really bad. Like, if I was Lizzo watching me compare her, I'd literally be so bad. But anyway, picking up where we left off, false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. That I agree with. So, These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. So that's interesting. I have not seen this confession public. I I did not know who these dancers were. I've not seen any like coverage of like her firing a bunch of dancers. But I do think it's interesting because I did see an audition tape that was leaked, which I believe was Davis, the same one. Oh, come on. And she's acting like, or she seems like very happy to want to work for Lizzo. So that was pretty interesting. Alright, let's play. Wait, I'm not even using a special. What the heck? I'm not using subs at all. That's disappointing. You're joking. You're literally joking. Oh. How'd you get me? How'd you get me? As an artist, I've always been very passionate about what I do. I take my music seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's never my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like they aren't valued as an important part of the team. And I have to open the app to see the rest of it. Oh, I was defeated. Okay. Yo, I should also talk about Tory Lanez, but I honestly don't want to. Like, literally, I don't even want to get into that because that's literally going to get me heated. In case you didn't know, I am not on his side. I am not a pick-me supporter. Sorry. So, let me keep going. I am not here to be looked at as a victim, but I also know that I am not the villain that people and the media portrayed me to be these last few days. I am very open with my sexuality and expressing myself, but I cannot allow or accept people to use that openness to make me out to be something I am not. There's nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. I know what it feels like to be body shamed on a daily basis and would absolutely never criticize or terminate an employee because of their weight. I'm hurt, but I will not let the good work I've done in the world be overshadowed by this. I want to thank everyone who has reached out in support to lift me up during this difficult time. So, again, I don't know. I feel like there's like some, again, I'm not hearing her voice. I don't know Lizzo personally, but I'm just like, I feel like the whole like pressuring, if she's referring to, oh, I've always been open with my sexuality as a response to her pressuring, if that's what's true about Davis having, oh, sorry, pressuring her at Banana Bar, I'm like, that there's a way to be open. I have friends who are very open, and I've never been pressured. I'm trying to think, like, I'm not even pressured to go to a restaurant, but there's no like options for my taste, never mind what Davis went through. So I don't really understand, again, I don't know if that's what's directly, because she doesn't like say, oh, in response to this, I would never blah blah blah, in response to this part of the lawsuit. Like, it's just, I don't want to say vague, like she's specific, but she's not like saying this is in response. So, but I really did not. Come on. Ooh. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so I'm approaching 20 minutes. Anyway, so I'm curious about what you guys think. Again, do your own research. There are much more in-depth deep dives that go into this, but now we're going to talk about Colleen. This is much older news. but I did want to talk about it because, I don't know, low-key I don't really want to talk about it, but I don't know if I want to get it off my chest or like think out loud, but I think, like, Lizzo is very shocking, but I think Colleen, I am very shocked, because I don't want to say I was never a fan, like, I honestly think I don't know if I would have been a fan if I was younger, but I just never really, like, I understood Miranda Sings being, like, a meme, but I wasn't, like, a diehard fan. I just was not my cup of tea. I don't know, I don't want to say, like, she's a bad creator, like, obviously she is, like, from, like, knowing what she did, but I'm just, like, I don't want to trash people who were fans of Miranda Sings and be like, you don't have a sense of humor, but it just wasn't what I was watching. I was into makeup videos at the time. I'm trying to think, like, what era this was. But, again, I have plenty of podcasts, but I'm going to specifically... I don't even want to talk about the frickin' ukulele apology. I just... One thing I'm gonna say is the incident where she makes a fart joke and she literally references it as a fart joke in her ukulele apology, but she has a girl and she's like laying down and her legs are literally like this, and then she's like standing over, like, even before it came up on a TikTok for me, so even before I'm reading the captions and everything, I'm like, what is going on? Before I even realized this is about Miranda Sings, I'm like, what is going on in this video? This is really weird. And the person in that video who's like laying down is like saying how, you know, she felt violated, and after that happened, people, I don't want to say if it was necessarily men, but obviously she felt that other audience members were looking at her differently as a result of that skit. And Miranda... Sorry. Wait, why is this happening? Sorry, I don't know Splatoon that well. Why can I see these people? I thought that was just friends, and I don't have friends, like, on Nintendo, so. Anyway, so this happened, and then Colleen's like, oh, I'm just a weird aunt, and the things about, like, Adam and the weenies chat, and oh my god, the tampon. I saw the video of the tampon, and I was like, this is very much giving, I forgot what her name was, who, like, this is very, like, OG, like, I feel like a millennial referencing this, but is it Giovanna, something like that, where she, like, ate the tampon, like, that's what it's giving. So she was, like, saying, oh, like, go get a tampon, and, like, send a video of me eating it, and I was like, this is, like, some weird, like, fetish thing. So yeah, I always thought, I was like, oh, Colleen, like, you know, she got famous off of Miranda Sings, like, before June 2023, I was like, oh, you know, she's doing a project, I didn't know that she had a Netflix show, I just knew that she was successful, I figured she was doing something, and I just never really followed her during Miranda Sings, nor did I follow her after or post, whether she... Man! Oh, it wasn't my fault. I thought this thing was saying that I had another disconnect, but I didn't. Okay, that's good. So this thing has been saying 20 minutes. Huh. Is this thing streaming? Like, why is my monitor saying I've been streaming for 20 minutes for, like, the past, like, huh? Alright, well, it's moving. Okay. Started 36 minutes ago. Okay, okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Sorry, that like really stressed me out. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, where was I? Like literally, I was like, oh, like she's successful, like she does whatever, and then to hear all this happening behind the scenes, and the fact that it was brought up in 2020, I had no idea. I'm really surprised this didn't happen 3 years ago, but I don't want to say I'm kind of glad it didn't, but I feel like with everything else going on in 2020, I feel like there was just so many other stories. I don't want to say I understand, like obviously this should have been paid attention to, but I kind of understand why like the rest of the world outside of the Colleen like fans and like general YouTube, or very, I consider myself part of the YouTube community, but I guess I wasn't as knit or close knit as I was to pick up on this story claims. I just, like, what was I doing in 2020? I was in college still. Man, what is with the disconnecting? Maybe I should just do regular like Splatoon streams. Like this is just... So yeah, I'm curious your thoughts. All of her shows have been canceled. Well, they should. Her apology. I don't even want to say it's an apology. Like, she just addressed it. I don't think it's an apology. She just says that she's being weird and like she just had no friends, and I can't imagine myself talking to 20-year-olds. That's dating myself, but yes, I am older than 20, so I'm not in my 30s, but I'm older than 20, and I do not see myself talking to 20-year-olds, never mind like minors, about personal things, marriage, absolutely not, like just weird. So curious about what you think about that. What's the next subject? Like, why isn't my monitor like refreshing? This is so weird. I'm gonna have to like reopen. Wow, this delay is like... Ow, I just like scratched myself. You know, they got a lawyer, there's actual evidence. I'm still talking about Lizzo. Just these dancers, a video. So clearly, I'm not saying what, just because there's not a lawsuit that's coming, but this is really scary to me. Not scary. No, it's not. I just don't want there to be, like, if you see my video where sorry, I'm just like, I just want like a seamless stream. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of done talking about Colleen. But her and Lizzo cannot believe that this stuff has came out about them. Colleen, I don't want to say I'm not a fan. Like I don't really, well, I guess I am a hater. Like I feel like anyone should hate what she did, and obviously if she is looking to redeem herself, then sorry, I cannot see the screen right now. Everything is like delayed. Hi, I think another viewer just came on. It's saying that I've been on for 10 minutes. Like, what is going on with my stream? Okay, I'm gonna get through these next two topics, and I don't I don't think I'm gonna do a stream like this where I talk about hot topics and play, because I literally can, like, between the research and playing and checking the chat and just like in general trying to engage and like show my personality, I literally cannot do it. It's like too much. But I do want to put a spin on my streams, so I'm gonna think of some ideas. I'm going to like experiment, but let's talk about Titan Submersible, because that story, and I know it's been nearly 2 months, but that whole, at the time, it just had me so perplexed. Like like everyone makes the jokes. I was not with the jokes. I was not with, oh, they deserve it because they were billionaires. Like, no, that was, I think that's ridiculous. I would never say or condone or rationalize people, rationalize a tragedy, or think or try and minimize the weight of a tragedy due to that. So Titan Submersible, the Ocean Gate company founded by Stockton Rush, the pilot of the submersible that went missing 2 months ago, they built a sub out of carbon, had a carbon fiber hull. It did have titanium. The actual porthole was glass, but the ends, I believe, are titanium. And this is something that becomes very important in terms of discussing the integrity and the structural, like the strength and capability of the submersible. And it is not a submarine. I do not like when channels are like, oh, the submarine. It is not a submarine. I would argue it's not even a submersible. To me, it's basically the equivalent of like a golf cart going on the highway and expecting no issues. Great, of course I swim into that. So, technically, it is a submersible. I really act like I have journalism ethics, but I'm very nitpicky when it comes to like technical things like that. Like, call it what it is. Anyway. So you have, and I would like to reference the Mile Higher podcast, because Josh and Kendall and Josh, if you're ever watching this, I love your podcast, but Josh did explain how the use of a PlayStation controller, do you guys see this? Oh, now it's going down. So when I press this, I don't always go down, and it's throwing me off, in addition to trying to explain and looking at the chat. Oh my god, I have 3 viewers. Hi, how are you doing? I'm so glad you're here. I know I suck. Anyway, so he was explaining that even the military or the Navy, I definitely don't remember offhand, but government entities or military entities have used PlayStation gaming controllers to power or like steer vehicles. So it is not completely out of the norm, but to a normal person, it would seem like, okay, like this is something, you know, this isn't exactly just like a toy to play with. Why are you having like game controllers? But Josh did have a point. There is these controllers, including the Switch, are supposed to be very durable. You know, you're not exactly gentle. You have to, when you have quick reflexes, you're trying to press the button and move the Joy-Con. So they are built with some durability, so that is understood. Okay, what is going on? But I just think so. Sorry, I just like need to pause and like check. I can't wait to have a. Why is it saying that I'm only viewing something about 8 minutes? Views? 3 views. Okay, well, I have 0 viewers now, so I guess I shouldn't care. I forgot where it was. PlayStation. No, play controller. Anyway, so apparently this was not the first dive, and there had been issues on previous dives. Losing communication was a common thing, and I have to say I really loved watching James Cameron's interviews where he talks about his deep sea Challenger dive to the Mariana Trench. Literally I'm trying to recall news stories from like 2 months ago. Like, I was so absorbed in it, and now I'm like just off the top of my head. Loved watching and listening to his insights, and I did not realize he was a very prominent, like, I don't want to say influencer, but like figure in the deep sea diving community. Did not like, he's a movie. I know him as a movie director. A lot of people know him for Titanic. I know him for Terminator. So I'm just like, wow, the director of Terminator also is like an expert in deep sea diving. Like, that's really cool. So yeah, I was like, that's kind of awesome. Oh wait, is me refreshing the stream? It says I have 4 views, but it says I only have 1 viewer on my phone, and I think because I have to refresh, it keeps counting that. Oh yeah. So anyway, taking into consideration the carbon fiber hull, the lawsuit by former employees that the vehicle was not safe, not certified, and Stockton expressed he thought getting it certified would limit innovation somehow. Personally, I don't see it that way. I think it limits the timeline of innovation, sure. If finance is a constraint, I think if you have a pretty hefty budget, there's a way to make do, but I think this innovation could have happened with the right certifications with carbon fiber. Oh gosh, maybe not. And I already did. So I think it's really unfortunate. I remember getting, I don't want to say emotional, but just so upset. I think about the 19-year-old. I'm like, oh my god, he was just a kid. He literally looked like such a good kid, so kind, and he was hoping to break a Guinness World Record and actually contacted him. So he had to play the Rubik's Cube, his record, according to his mother. I watched the interview with Christine Dogwood, his mother. Condolences to her, because she, you know, not that all the victims' families didn't lose somebody, but she lost 2 immediate members in her family at the same time. So just can't imagine the pain that she's going through. People are like, oh, I can't imagine what she went through. This is not something that would ever be in the past. For the rest of her life, she's going to be feeling that pain, and the same thing with all the families of the other victims. And this is going to be a hot take, I do not consider Stockton to be a victim in terms of, it's tragic, and it's really, I don't want to say an accident, but the mission specialist, so the passengers, I don't think they, or maybe they did know and they took the risk, but I certainly don't think that the 19-year-old, Suleiman, really knew just how unsafe it was. I also think it's very eerie that Suleiman and Shahzada, father and son, replaced a father and son that withdrew from the trip due to safety concerns. Very interesting. Personally, I don't think they really knew how unsafe it was. Stockton, to me, gives off very car salesman, dealership vibes, just telling you just enough for you to say yes or okay, or to convince you, and not really giving you the full picture, being like, yes, this, like giving you this piece, but also this piece, very important for the whole picture, but he's not going to reveal that. So just my opinion, I don't think at least the father and son really knew how the structure and what that meant, and I think it was very strategic to not call them passengers but mission specialists, and there was this whole application process, and I'm just like, wow, very strategic in terms of liability. So personally, these are rich people. I'd be very shocked if there wasn't some kind of lawsuit. I don't know if it's class action, but there's also the question of they were in international waters, and also with the rescue efforts, because this company conveniently is in waters that aren't regulated. So if, let's say, they were trying to think of any regulated water, they would probably have the government overseeing that would probably tell them you need to be certified. And of course the Titanic is in a place where you don't have to worry about certification. So it's like they don't want to pay whatever entity, they don't want to abide by the government, but when they needed rescuing, you know, they call the government. So it's like it's kind of like cherry picking, like what support you want from government entities and regulation and blah blah blah. And the Coast Guard, I believe it was the Coast Guard, did say they don't put a price on rescuing like anybody they're going to rescue, but I personally, as a taxpayer, regardless if this is the US or another country, I do think there should be some kind of agreement in place in terms of payment, because this was an unregulated trip, especially, like, did not follow any. I do think there should be payment. Do I think everyone's saying, oh, the estate should pay? That's tricky for me, because I just don't believe that these, I'm gonna call them passengers, I don't really care that they're mission specialists, but, or in the eyes of like the law, or like contractual, but I think that's really Ocean Gate's responsibility to be fully transparent, and it's just so many layers, and at the end of the day, like, you can argue about whether, you know, it's Ocean Gate or the estate, and like whether, you know, these are billionaires and they should, you know, they did it at their own risk and blah blah blah, and the waiver mentions death 3 times on the 3rd page. Like, everyone clicks accept or sign, I agree, before we do things. Personally, like, if I was presented with this opportunity, and like, I'm trying to think if I was a 19-year-old son, like, I mean, I'm not paying for it, and for their tax bracket per se, $250,000 is not going to be much. So it's going to be like, I'm trying to, any adventure tourism activity, it's going to be comparable to that cost. Or, yeah, I'm trying to think of my cost of doing an activity. So, I don't know, I'm curious about what you think. Why does it say 6 minutes? Does that mean like the average view duration? Oh gosh, I'm on sleep mode. So I wonder if that is, let me just see where I'm at. Anyway, so let's talk about this Ariana drama. So Ariana Grande, Ethan Slater, Lily J, Dalton Gomez, messy. messy. I don't even know where to start. So 2 years ago, Lily, Ariana married Dalton Gomez. And I'm not going to be really specific on the timeline here, but she started filming Wicked or Wizard of Oz, one of the two, with Ethan Slater. She plays Glenda, and he's like somebody else. Sorry, I'm like not paying attention, but apparently his character is like chasing after Ariana's character, and she's supposed to be like resisting or whatever, and like not interested in his character. So she's ironic, and it doesn't work out like that. What was I gonna say? So it comes out that they're dating, and anyone who, I don't really follow Ariana, but I just remember how she got married, because everyone's like, oh my gosh, she got married, and I remember thinking, okay, like I didn't even know they got engaged. So I was like, I just remember looking up like when, I was just curious how long they'd been dating, and I don't think it had been long, so I was like, oh, whatever, but if you know what I mean? Oh my god! Nope. So, anyway, they get married, but now, apparently, Ariana has separated from Dalton, and they're getting a divorce, and it's reported that she's dating Ethan, but, I'm trying to think. And if you thought, like, oh, it's shady that she's, like, married and she was dating, like, the timeline, it gets worse when you think about who she's with now, because Ethan apparently has been married since 2018 and just had a child last year with his wife, who they have been together since high school for 10 years. And I'm like, oh, this just got worse. This literally just got worse. Like, Dalton is like, I feel like that's something you can easily dispute, but at least on Ethan's side, messy. So everyone knows Ethan, or he is most well known from his SpongeBob role, and I think in this drama everyone's like, oh, how can she be, and I don't really like attacking someone for their looks, but I will say the comparisons to Frankie Grande really had me compelled, because I was like, oh, they actually do look alike. So that was just very interesting. As of date, Ariana has neither of them, or did Ethan say something? Apparently news outlets have reported that Lily J, Ethan's wife, apparently they're separated now, according to her. She is blindsided and just shocked and said that Ariana's not the girl's girl, and I was like, yikes, that's crazy. But yeah, it just makes me feel further reinforced. I'm like, okay, this is why I'm single, because even if you are having the most loyal and like most nice guy on paper, they can still cheat on you. I'm not saying that he did that. Alleged. Don't come after me. Alleged. But like, the trust is not there. So I don't know. There's like one side where it's like, oh, Ariana, like you knew he was married, you knew he had a kid, and you went for it. And then there's like the other crowd, well, like she was separated, and he's the one in the marriage, not her, like he should have been loyal. And then there's people who are like, you're both wrong, and I'm somewhere in the mix of like, they're both wrong, because again, no timelines have been confirmed. Ariana has not addressed this, and I honestly think, considering that wife has basically confirmed it, I just don't really, like, unless you're denying it and being like, no, we didn't date, there's no I just don't think there's any way she can win. So I think her and her team is very smart by not addressing it. I don't follow Ariana on Instagram, so I don't know if she's been posting since, or like what she's posted, if she's posted, if like her personal account is not active, but like her, you know, she has REM Beauty, I believe. I hope I'm pretty sure it's REM. I know Selena's red, so I know I'm not mixing that up, but I could be wrong. But yeah, messy stuff. So I'm curious, just in general, because this is a tale that we've seen before where men leave their wives, leave like years, decades, more than 10 years, like Ethan's not the first guy to leave his wife for an affair. Oh! Okay, I think that's safe for me, honestly. So, I'm always curious. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all. In this case, you know, Lily J did say that, or I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that, like, Ariana had visited, like, the wife and the child, so she knew that he had a family. And I do think if she didn't know, or if he like concealed or like had lied to her in some way, I do think that changes her guiltiness, or like if her intentions was like, I want to say pure, like whether, you know, outside of her possibly like cheating on her own, like cheating outside her own marriage, if as far as she knew, like he was separated from Lily J, then I think that changes the game. But as far as we know, she knew and should, I don't want to say should have known, but there was no like plan to separate if she was visiting the family. Who knows? Who knows? Again, she hasn't said anything, but I think that there's like different layers to this. Okay. Why am I feeling nauseous right now? Why am I feeling nauseous? Oh my god. I need some water. Sorry, that was just so random. I've not felt nauseous like in forever, and all of a sudden I feel nauseous. I think I just need more water. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about. I feel like I just ramble and said a whole lot or nothing, but I'm curious what you guys think. And I'm just going to play, literally just going to enjoy this game. And I don't think I'm doing deep dives again. This is the first, this was not a deep dive in my game. Not a hot topic while gaming, and I just don't. This is like, yes, finally. What are you talking about? I don't see it. Oh, it's over. It's over. Oh my god, do I have a viewer? Hey! Hi! Alright, let me see if I can get this. Alright, let me put my camera cover on. I need to seriously. I'm still here, I promise. Alright. Now you can see me again. Okay, so my OBS is pretty synced, but so there is some delay on YouTube's part, and then on my, like when I watch, and look, there's Kendall and Josh right below, who I was talking about earlier. But when it comes to actually being like on my account, because I like to see how it looks like from a viewer's perspective, it's like like a different kind of delay. All right, so. Let's do this. Oh, I'm gonna like lean back completely. I can't do that. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Oh my gosh. After this battle, I'm literally gonna start a... Actually, I think this is it. This is gonna be my last battle. This was a good stream. I think somebody must have texted me through my stream because that was so weird. I've never had a nauseous feeling like that from out of nowhere. I like never get nauseous, like especially when like I'm driving. Oh my god. Wait, I literally had... Of course. I'm so weird. Maybe that was like a sign that I should not be doing that. That was just so out of left field. But anyway, what do you think of my color scheme? I really like this color scheme. And I bought a panel light, so my lighting is like much better than usual, and I really like how it looks on both. Oh! This is why I shouldn't like stare at myself. I'm in danger. This is... Oh my god. Person's gonna chase me. Come on, I'm covering a lot of turf. Like, can we undanger? Can we undanger? Like, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Oh my gosh. This is honestly pretty good. Like, I haven't even died yet. Oh my gosh. I have 30 seconds. Dang, they got a lot of ground. Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh. I didn't even see them. I didn't even see them coming. What's the map? Come on! Alright, I'm coming to you. I'm coming. Of course, I landed the spot. Alright, so that's a landslide. That's a landslide. Gosh, it was so bad. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. Oh, I see current views. Okay. I have one viewer, and that's probably my preview. But, you know, we'll see next time. I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna stop there and we'll catch ya next time. Bye. Alright, now it's the awkward shuffle to get to my computer. Moving my mic so this mic sound weird. Oh, almost just brought down my entire tripod because of one cable on my separate